Hello, welcome to another engine teardown video of the Honda. So we're taking this one step further and we're gonna go ahead and take the crank out. But first we gotta take off all the stuff on the side here where the timing area is, which is actually the oil pump. I've been calling it like the timing cover and all this stuff, but it's actually the oil pump itself. So I'm not really sure as of right now if I'm going to replace the oil pump. As far as I know, it works really well. I have fantastic oil pressure in the car. So I can't really see a reason to change it, but you know, I guess if it did fail, I'd be kicking myself, but I don't know. I gotta think about it and see what people do, see if people change it or not. If anybody has any insight, feel free to let me know. But as of right now, I'm thinking I might rock this oil pump, just because it seems to work pretty well, and why fix it if it's not broken? I'm sure it'll go for much longer, but yeah, either way, I gotta disassemble this whole side. It'll have to be resealed. I do think that it is leaking, actually, where the cover is, like right in this area. I never could find out like why it always looked wet and oil leaky there, but I think that it was leaking out from where it's sealed against the block. So it'd be interesting to reseal it and see if it fixes my leak. But yeah, so I'm gonna take off this guy right here, which is actually the balance shaft. That's the rear balance shaft. The motor's upside down. This is the front balance shaft. So I just was loosening this. Got to take this off. This is the water pump, which I changed before, so I'll put that back on, see if the O-ring's in good shape. Got to take that off, and then all these little 10 millimeters, like, you know, this guy, and let's see, this one up here, and yeah, there's some other ones around here, but those should all take this whole oil pump cover right off. So I'm going to go ahead and try to do that, and once we get that off, we should be able to take the crank out. So I removed the balance shaft here and the gear for the front balance shaft and the water pump, and I took out all the 10 mil bolts that go all the way around, and I'm about to knock this cover off here with a mallet, see if I can get it to pop loose. Just a little bit of sealant on the other side. Alright, so I got that cover off. Now we should be able to remove our crank. Should be totally free in there. Free and clear. Pop this guy out. There we go. Lost one of our thrust washers, but there's the crank. So I'm going to go stand it up over here. Make sure it's not going to fall. Alright. That is that. Other than this balance shaft here, which, you know, maybe I'll take out. Yeah, we have a completely gutted engine block. So yeah, this is it right here. Time to check all of our clearances, and I like to check out the if there's any cylinder taper or anything like that. Don't see anything major, so yeah, probably gonna hone. I can go ahead and spin this thing around now. Might lose our bearings, but that's okay. I'm gonna put new bearings in anyway. I think they'll stay in place. Okay. That's the whole motor torn down. So we are going to switch gears a little bit here and come on over to the engine bay, which is gnarly. It's full of wires. It's all greasy. It's nasty. So I would really like to clean this up, and I need to order some parts for this. And I'd like to clean up the engine as well. So that's going to take some time. I gotta wait for a nice warm day for that so I don't freeze the whole driveway over when I pressure wash it. But I'm going to work on this engine bay here. I'm going to try to get this wiring cleaned up, mess with the fuse block here, see if I can take this apart. I'd like to relocate that inside the car and tuck all these wires. I've looked up a few guides, so I might yank the fenders off and the front bumper and start working on doing some of that tucking and just trying to clean up the bay a little bit here so I can paint it as well. Drain the coolant out of the heater core and everything so I can take the hoses off. So I'm going to get to work on some of that stuff, and all this will have to be all scuffed up. I'd like to do a nice job painting in here, so it looks really nice. But yeah, I'm going to get to work on that now, I think. So I have sort of started to do a whole different project here. Got the motor sitting apart over there, and I'm just going to leave that for a while till I can get the parts to build it. But what I've started doing is, what I wanted to do is my wire tuck. So I've removed a bunch of stuff on this side. There's a pile of it down there, including the fuse box and all kinds of other stuff. And I got all the wiring all strung out here, and I'm just sort of taking all the loom off of it, and I took the area over there out. Let me see if I can show you. Yeah, so I took the plug out there, and I have all the wires to the fuse block there that I'm going to try to run back through and try to get the fuse box inside of the car. So that'll be kind of cool. Clean up the hood area a little bit. Engine bay will be nice and clean. So these wires right here, these are all nasty and oil soaked, so I'm taking all the loom off of them, but I'd like to stuff these back through. And then I took the fender off over here. Most people run them over the top of the fender and then back in. So I gotta figure out exactly how I want to run all these wires. Yeah, gotta see, put it in a way that makes sense. Because like this goes all the way to the other side of the car with the injectors and all that stuff and the alternator wiring, so I do have to figure out a way to get it to the other side of the car. So I'm gonna figure that out. I'm not really sure what I'm doing, so I'm just kind of going for it. Probably gonna take the bumper off and the light out and everything. I mean, I gotta prep this for paint anyway, so it's all gonna come apart. So might as well rip it apart and try to do a little wire tuck while I'm at it. So that's the new project that I'm going to be working on for quite a while now, so we'll see how that goes. Alright, so I've got quite a bit of stuff done since the last clip there, but I took the whole harness out and I've been stripping off a lot of the black tape and wire loom just to expose everything, and I've just been trying to really think about how I'm going to tackle this. Might have bit off more than I could chew. I'm not really sure. I've never done this before, but you know, we're going to see how it goes. I'm sure I'll be able to get it to work eventually. It's going to take me a while though. So yeah, I know all this, that has to get to the alternator, that has to get to the injectors, and this has to get to that as well as this side of the car, but this stuff has to be over there, and this normally ran underneath the intake. But what I'm going to try to do over here is, some people do this sort of technique, but I went ahead and stuffed all the wires back in this way, and over here there's a door boot. So what I'm going to try to do is send those back out this way and then drill this hole out right here so that I can stuff the wires in this way, and then I'm going to run them underneath the cowl all the way over to the other side, just the wires that need to be run to that side, and the wires that don't, I guess that's the part I'm trying to figure out now, where I'll have those wires come out, whether I don't have them go through, whether I leave them like this and just have a couple of wires coming through there just to go across and up, you know, in the back, so I can separate whatever I want now that the loom's all apart. So just got to figure out what goes where, thinking about going through and labeling everything with where it goes, so I can think about where it's got to be, so I can have room to plug it in. But yeah, this is a big job. I took the whole bumper off, took the radiator out, and my stupid self, I think I broke the radiator. I was trying to get the AC condenser out, which is right there, but I might have broken the radiator in the process, unfortunately. Up here, it's very hard for you to tell, but it's kind of messed up. Yeah, I'm a little upset that I did that, so I don't know, we'll see. Maybe it'll still work, maybe it won't. Not really sure, but yeah, I know this video is kind of all over the place, but this is going to be my winter project, so yeah, look forward to more videos on this. What is up, everybody? So it's the following day, and I thought I was going to cap the video off, but I think I'm going to continue it on. What I have here is my fully stripped engine bay, pretty much, minus those hoses back there. This is pretty much everything I'm going to take out as far as for painting and everything. So I went ahead and I stripped the whole front of the car apart. Not sure where I left off last night, it was pretty late, I was getting tired, but took the radiator out, condenser for the AC, power steering pump, you know, jug and everything. Took off just the top area for the washer fluid, you know, and I just want to clean this off. So what I did was, I bungee corded the axles up, and I just threw the nuts back on the fork into the lower control arm, and threw the wheels back on just so I can roll this thing out. So I'm going to roll it out to the driveway, see if I can get a nice pressure wash going on this thing, and you know, make it look nice. And then I'll be able to scuff it and start taping stuff for paint. I'm probably going to paint like the master cylinder first, and you know, maybe I'll go through and if I can prime all the brake lines in the back and black those out or something, just to make everything look nice. The power steering line here I gotta get off, but yeah, I just want to give it like just a basic clean. I'm gonna tape off the couple of holes that go in the inside of the car so I don't get too much water in there. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and roll this thing out, get some of the grime off of it, and clean up my garage. So that last clip was me pressure washing the engine bay. It did come out really good. I'm about to pull it in the garage right now, or push it in rather than pull it in. But yeah, so I'm going to pull it back in, and I'm going to scuff this thing. Probably won't start it tonight. I've been working pretty hard on it today, so might take a little break, edit this video, and relax. But yeah, the car's looking good. Yeah, it looks really clean now that I pressure washed it, so I might pull it in and give you guys one last look of it, and then that's how I'll end off the video. But yeah, next step is going to be scuff everywhere and prime everything, and then I'm going to decide what colors I'm painting what. And yeah, so a lot of taping, sanding, and painting in the future while I wait for parts for this motor. And yeah, so stay tuned and subscribe if you want to see more of this build, but it's going to be going for a while. So let me know what you guys think. If you have any feedback and any questions too, I'd be happy to answer them if I can. So thanks for watching.